you want to change your life, start with your morning. Psychology explained. Have you ever noticed how a single morning can quietly shape the rest of your day? You wake up late, you scroll your phone, you rush out the door, and somehow, before noon, you already feel behind. Small irritations hit harder. Decisions feel heavier. Motivation feels distant. But on other days, something different happens. You wake up with intention, you move a little slower, you breathe. You choose your first thoughts carefully. Even when challenges come, you handle them with clarity. What changed? Not your job, not your circumstances, not your intelligence. Just your morning. Psychology shows us something powerful. The first hour after you wake up is not just time passing. It is identity forming, it is emotional tone setting, it is neurological programming. If you truly want to change your life, you don't start with a 5-year plan. You start with tomorrow morning. Let's explore why. 1. Your brain is most programmable in the morning when you wake up. Your brain transitions from slower theta brainwaves into alert beta waves. In that in-between state, your mind is highly suggestible. This is not motivational fluff, it's neuroscience. Psychologists like William James emphasize that habits form the backbone of identity. And modern neuroscience confirms it. Repeated behaviors wire neural pathways through neuroplasticity. In the morning, your brain hasn't yet been flooded by external demands. Emails haven't shaped your emotions. Social media hasn't hijacked your focus. News headlines haven't triggered stress. That means the first thoughts you think often become the emotional lens for the entire day. If your first action is scrolling, you teach your brain, I react. If your first action is intention, you teach your brain, I lead. Over weeks and months, this subtle difference compounds. Research on habit formation, including work popularized by James Clear, shows that small, repeated behaviors become identity statements. You are not what you say you want to be. You are what you repeatedly do. So when you consistently choose calm over chaos in the morning, you are not just having a good start, you are reinforcing the identity of someone disciplined, focused, and self-directed. Change your morning gives Rewire, your brain gives Reshape, your identity. 2. Mornings decide your emotional baseline every day. Your nervous system establishes a baseline state. That baseline influences how you interpret everything that follows. If your morning is rushed and reactive, your nervous system shifts towards stress mode. Cortisol spikes. Your brain becomes more threat-sensitive. You interpret neutral events as negative, you snap quicker. You doubt more easily. Ow. But if your morning is grounded, your nervous system stays regulated. You become more emotionally resilient. Clinical psychologist Martin Seligman introduced the idea of learned optimism. The way we explain events shapes our long-term emotional well-being. And here's the key. Your explanatory style often begins forming the moment you wake up. Think about your internal dialogue. You wake up thinking of another long day or I get another opportunity. The difference seems small, but psychologically it shifts your cognitive framing. One primes stress, the other primes growth. Your morning is like setting the thermostat of your emotional climate. If you set it low, anxious, distracted, irritated, the rest of the day must fight to rise above it. If you set it steady and intentional, challenges don't feel as overwhelming. This is why high performers guard their mornings so carefully. Not because they have more time, but because they understand leverage. One intentional hour can influence the next 16. Morning choices reinforce who you believe you are. There's a powerful psychological principle called self-perception theory. It suggests that we don't just act based on who we are, we infer who we are based on how we act. In other words, you don't meditate because you are disciplined. Become disciplined because you meditate consistently. Each morning behavior sends a vote toward your identity. Hit snooze 3 times. Vote for I avoid discomfort. Get up when the alarm rings. Vote for I follow through. Scroll aimlessly. Vote for I distract. Journal intentionally. Vote for I reflect. Over time, these votes accumulate. Author Charles Duhigg describes how habits shape belief systems. When people successfully change a small keystone habit like morning exercise, they begin to see themselves differently. That identity shift spills into other areas. Diet improves, productivity increases, confidence grows. Your morning is often your most powerful keystone habit. It's not because it must be perfect, but because it's the first proof of who you are becoming. 4. Momentum is psychological, not just practical. We often think success is about big breakthroughs. But psychologically, success is often about momentum. Small wins create dopamine. Dopamine increases motivation. Motivation increases follow-through. Follow-through builds confidence. Confidence builds bigger wins. It's a cycle. If your first action of the day is a small win, making your bed, stretching for 5 minutes, reading 1 page, you create psychological momentum. You tell your brain, I start. It's that simple identity, I start, is incredibly powerful. Behavioral science shows that the hardest part of any task is initiation. Once you begin, resistance decreases. That's why structured morning routines work so well. They remove decision fatigue. Decision fatigue is real. Every choice drains mental energy. If you start your day deciding what to wear, what to eat, whether to exercise, whether to check your phone, you're burning cognitive fuel before your real priorities even begin. A simple, repeatable morning system protects your mental clarity. It doesn't need to be extreme. It needs to be consistent. 5 minutes of stillness, 10 minutes of movement. 1 clear intention written down. Small actions. Big psychological impact. 5. The story you tell yourself begins at sunrise. Your life is not just shaped by events. It is shaped by narrative. Psychologist Don McAdams proposed that we build identity through life stories. We constantly interpret our experiences and weave them into a personal narrative. And every morning, that narrative continues. When you wake up, you subconsciously ask, who am I today? Are you the overwhelmed person? The growing person? The stuck person? The evolving person? Your morning routine becomes the opening paragraph of your daily story. If the opening paragraph is rushed and chaotic, the rest of the story follows that tone. If it begins with clarity and ownership, the day feels purposeful. You may not control every circumstance, but you control how your story begins, and beginnings matter. So how do you actually change your mornings? You don't need a 2-hour miracle routine. You need 3 psychological anchors. 1. Delay external input. No phone for the first 15 to 30 minutes if possible. Protect your mind before the world enters it. 2. Move your body early. Even light movement shifts your neurochemistry and signals. Activation. 3. Choose 1 intention. Not a long to-do list. It's just 1 meaningful priority that defines success for the day. That's it. Simple. Repeatable. Identity shaping. The goal is not productivity perfection. The goal is psychological leadership. The deeper truth: you don't wake up as a finished identity, you wake up as potential. Every morning, you cast votes for the person you are becoming. If you change nothing else, not your job, not your city, not your bank account, but you change your mornings, something subtle begins to shift. You feel less reactive, more grounded, more capable, more in control of your direction. And over months, those mornings stack. That stacking becomes character. Character becomes trajectory. Trajectory becomes destiny. Life change rarely begins with a dramatic leap. It begins quietly, at sunrise. If this message resonated with you, don't just let it inspire you. Test it. Tomorrow morning, before the world touches your attention, choose 1 intentional action. Just 1, and observe how it changes your state. If you want more psychology-backed insights on identity, habits, and self-mastery, this is exactly what we explore here on Awaken Mindset. Subscribe and join a community that chooses growth 1 morning at a time, because you don't change your life all at once. You change it when you wake up.